Podcasts from the Leader as Coach Consultant series provide variable topics sponsored by the School of Business at North Central University, an education system dedicated to developing knowledge and insight on team coaching in a corporate environment. Today's guest speaker is Deborah Hutchison, Vice President of Human Resources. Thanks so much for joining us today and listening to our weekly podcast. I've been asked to talk to you today about coaching in a group environment. You may wonder why coaching is essential in today's society. Well, let me ask you this. When was the last time your organization went through a significant transition and everybody was on board? We all know that employees often find it challenging to adapt to change, so bringing in a coach to help create a focus-driven, unified environment through multiple resources helps us to bring clarity within environmental circumstances. Researchers and industry leaders often offer variable concepts in coaching strategies, and today we want to drill down to identify popular trends in leading as a coach. But first, we need to differentiate group coaching from team coaching. In group coaching, everyone adds distinct value to the team, such as a specific skill like being technically savvy. In team coaching, everyone assigned to one team works toward the same goals and objectives, like successfully migrating towards new technology. Let's say that your organization is going through a complete technical upgrade and you're moving from manual processes to digital processes. Hiring a coach to guide employees during this transition offers an authoritative approach. And by that, I mean this in a good way. Coaches can display guidance and leadership that supports diversity throughout the organization. And authoritative knowledge occurs through administration and change management, and all businesses need that type of leadership. But transformative learning occurs through relational value between team members. Transformational leadership brings collaborative mindsets into the workplace because every team member adds diversity and worth to the master plan of corporate initiatives. Instead of being told what to do, transformational coaches empower individuals to use their voices to incorporate a unified approach toward creating goals and meeting the desired outcome. So what happens here is that individuals add distinct purpose to the group, but the team works toward the same results and objectives. So let's talk about what we need to be looking for in a team coach. One of my roles in human resources is to recruit talent acquisitions from a pool of team coaches who possess leadership qualities. So it's vital when building a team from a pool of individuals who offer value through diverse capacities. For example, coaching methods often involve a trilogy of methodologies that develop goals and objectives required to succeed in a work environment. Training and development, encouragement, and regular feedback often promote ongoing actions that create long-term benefits associated with corporate initiatives. That is, when a coach's philosophy reflects a well-balanced approach to definitive results, employees begin to rationalize coaching strategies to make a strategic plan that negotiates long-lasting compliance beneficial to team dynamics. In other words, coaches who take a transformative approach and acknowledge value from individuals then support employees with positive reinforcement. Chances are coaches will see a significant improvement in performance and desired outcome in less time than otherwise anticipated. But be mindful not to confuse coaching qualities with coaching skill sets. You're looking for a leader who is organized and sees the big picture of the organization. Besides, you're also looking for a coach who leads by example. For instance, coaching qualities include developing trust among subordinates, especially when employees have someone to look up to and expect you to guide them towards common goals. Employees want to feel a sense of trust and belonging in the workplace, particularly when they spend about 8 to 10 hours every day in a shared environment. So when coaches possess prime leadership qualities, they create a significant opportunity to develop desired behaviors and skill sets from employees as trust and belonging is established. And these factors challenge coaches to create a transformative environment to gain confidence from employees first, and then exercise transferable skills in a teaching environment. So we've talked about coaching skill sets, and what we've talked about in previous podcasts is soft skills. But if you have a leader in mind who already is in a coaching position, say they've been with your company longer than you, it's likely that they already possess these attributes and intend to develop soft skills in others. Effective coaching should demonstrate the ability to organize interactive relationships that construct an engaging environment with proven execution in task and performance methodologies. And by this, I mean that coaches should anticipate diverse methods and team dynamics so that all group members have equal opportunity to create a well-balanced approach to creativity, teamwork, time management, problem solving, and conflict resolution. Additional frameworks encompass relational coaching techniques to add value, building autonomy within a team environment. Transparency creates organizational culture that reciprocates a high level in trust and engagement practices, which is initiated not by corporate executives or coaches, but by the typical employee who maintains variable levels of responsibilities. For example, in an earlier podcast, we discussed coaching styles among variable industries and concluded that additional research might be helpful to identify best practices in coaching methods. However, when individuals are cognizant of personal capabilities, autonomous behaviors evolve, thus initiating probable actions in alignment with the corporate business model. Therefore, coaching skill sets are best classified as having the ability to extract independent accomplishments with guided practice to build team dynamics through autonomous behaviors. Also, coaches who encourage efficiencies through independent contributions stand a higher chance of adjusting to ambiguities when designing or pre-calculating team dynamics. So how to create team dynamics here? At the beginning of this podcast, we talked about the need to differentiate coaching from group coaching from team coaching. This same concept is critical when creating a distinction between individual coaching and centralizing team dynamics to reach common goals. For example, contrasting analysis of business model versus team composition gives the coach a better understanding of managing people. When team dynamics are cohesive, the coach can build a reliable action plan to complete tasks efficiently and answer to principal collaborators or other stakeholders. Therefore, team dynamics focus on projected behaviors that grant coaches the ability to delegate responsibilities accordingly and then expand growth amongst elected employees who accomplish desired outcomes and results. In essence, to the entire perspective of a project's outcome, individual assessments benefit team dynamics by applying independent strengths and subdividing tasks as needed to execute authorized ventures as intended within a work organization or a work environment. So now that we've identified several factors in the qualities and skill sets and abilities to build team dynamics, I want to touch on proven coaching models based on research. If you conduct an internet search on coaching models, you'll find an abundance of articles, blogs, websites to guide your understanding of this topic. I'm going to touch on just a few coaching models to give you a starting point for your research. What I found fascinating about coaching models is the contrasting opinions within the scholarly literature. Those who conducted valid research on coaching methods discovered a correlation between transformational coaching and team development, while bloggers or industry professionals seeing coaching necessary to address corporate gain. For example, Hackman and Wageman first identified 6 conditions for team effectiveness, which provide relevant theories to support variable management strategies. This framework advocates for any coach who wishes to reinforce team dynamics by creating a balance between human capital, task performance, and team effectiveness. The conditional infrastructure consists of multiple degrees in the projected analysis of team dynamics, including building essential teams with purpose, creating strategies to build knowledge and skill sets, then measuring team effectiveness through KPIs. Hackman and Wageman's coaching models support decades of scientific research still used today, and coaches who choose to initiate the 6 team conditions intend to build teams with a sound structure toward project implementation and execution. You can visit 6teamconditions.com for additional information on this coaching model. Clutterback challenges the transformational approach and believes instead that coaching models should be directed toward corporate objectives, not interrelational motives. Coaches are present merely to oversee productivity and report findings so executives can base decisions on operational strategies or training and development initiatives. Regardless of team dynamics, organizations expect progressive results and require a team of individuals to complete designated duties responsibly. There are several other researchers who follow similar views as Hackman and Wageman and Clutterback and base their information on validated research methods or professional industry standards. For example, Hawkins aligns coaching theories with transformational approach, providing a core learning model of interactive engagement between all team members. Thornton, on the other hand, contrasts beliefs that coaching is methodical and internal procedures should coordinate with process development and productivity as a whole. While both doctrines exhibit key concepts, organizations must conduct their own research to decide on which coaching method is best for their situation. So as we near the end of this podcast, I want to take a moment to review some key takeaways from today's discussion. Group coaching and team coaching differ slightly, but are equally essential to support a business's desired outcome. Teams comprise of individual talent, so coaches are responsible for identifying skill sets and assigning tasks accordingly. As any coach in the National Sports League, if you ask anybody there how they decide which players are assigned to which job to bring home the win, this is where team coaching becomes relevant. Although individuals perform exclusive duties, the team now looks at the big picture to work toward common goals. So neither approach is solely practical without considering transformational or authoritative frameworks to determine the desired effects of business objectives. So what should you look for in a coach to guide those who work in teams? Well, it depends on whether you plan to incorporate transformational leadership or strictly align coaching methods with core values. Transformational leaders encourage, support, assess, and offer employees feedback to create efficiencies in work performance. These coaches are reflective and acknowledge how other individuals add value to the team. By contrast, direct or authoritative coaching bases productivity or analytical assessments by results and measurable outcomes. You'll want to consider which coaching qualities best suit your needs for specific projects. In either approach, coaching skill sets require mastery of soft skills that reflect ability to engage others through team development, whether they're relational or task-oriented. Proper team dynamics require an assessment of everyone's strengths and weaknesses to better create a fluid work environment. Coaches who practice soft skills add transparency and value to the work environment by transferring a combination of professional competencies to followers, including enhanced usage of communication skills, critical thinking, teamwork, and additional responsibilities. So cohesiveness between a leader and follower creates a productive environment that promotes collaboration and measurable performance through developing skill sets. And recapping variable theories, Hackman and Wageman and Hawkins support theories that correlate coaching practices with transformational leadership. Clutterback and Thornton, however, initiate more authoritative measures to bring performances and business practices. However, you can find even more information through scholarly literature, blogs, websites, and videos through a basic internet search. So I encourage you to look online for additional resources in coaching team models. Well, I appreciate your time joining me today. My name's Deborah Hutchison, and I'm very humbled to have been able to bring my knowledge of team coaching to this podcast. For additional topics in the School of Business, tune in every Sunday or find my presentations wherever you download your podcasts. See you next time.